Hello, it's Ron here, back with another video on Ron's YouTube channel where we cover a lot of drone and camera and tech gear, and today's going to be like a drone video and also a Florida Drone Meetup update. So I'm already down here in South Florida preparing for the Great Florida Drone Meetup in about 2 weeks over at Jensen Beach Park in around Stuart, Florida, and but I'm kind of sequestered here in Jupiter right now. Making some helping doing some arrangements and mini meetups with Captain Ray and other good folks down here. I want to go back to the time before I packed up and drove down to Florida at the end of February. I drove down, so obviously I had more room to bring drones and equipment along to people that were flying. So I had more room than people that were flying to bring drone and various gear down to the meetup. So, but I still didn't want to bring every drone I owned. I still wanted to put some kind of limit on what I was bringing. So, I was trying to go through my drones, and I've kind of cut my drone collection down now because, when you have too many drones, you just don't fly them, and I have a feeling they just sit there and rot away, or, batteries go bad. So I try to sell them off so somebody else can get some, use out of them while, rather than having to sit around me flying once a year. Anyhow, so I have the three current DJI drones, the Mavic 3, Air 2S, and Mini 2, and I also have the Autel Evo 2 Pro drone. Right now in my lineup, I didn't get any of the newer Autel drones. Just came out at the beginning of the year, and I've got rid of my older DJI drones like the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic Air 2 and so on, and I don't have my Skydio anymore. So anyhow, between those four drones, I was trying to decide what to bring down, and I kind of I knew I wanted to bring the Mavic 3 because I knew we had a lot of wind here last year, and I needed something that could really handle the wind and cut into that wind and not have that wind warning go off like crazy in the fly app. So the Mavic 3 was a definite. Then I had to choose between the as my second drone, the Air 2S, the Mini 2, or the Autel Evo. So you see this beach towel in front of me. It's kind of, I don't have a good blanket here or a good cover here. I'm going to reveal what I did bring down. So the great reveal is coming. So sit down, grab a beverage, get some chips, and here it comes. Ta-da! I don't have sound effects either. So, okay, there you have it, folks. You can see the Mavic 3, as I said, came along for sure. My best drone for, in the wind, and my best run time. And the other drone that came was the good old Mini 2 drone, and all the talk now is about the DJI Mini 3 this, Mini 3 that. So I wanted to give the Mini 2 some love because the Mini 2 is over a year old. Let's say it's going to be a year and a half pretty soon, but it's still a good little drone. Still fills the needs of many people out in the community as their only drone, not as just a secondary drone. So, but something I'm more thinking was, I didn't want to bring the Evo 2 Pro along because it's kind of the same drone as the Mavic 3. Kind of a bigger drone, has all the bells and whistles, has a 6K video, and has D-Log, 10-bit color, good zoom, all that stuff. So that was kind of too similar to this. So that stayed home. But that doesn't mean it's a bad drone. It's a very good drone still, even that it's almost 2 years old, and it still, still holds its own. It's still one of the top drones out there as far as features and camera and video quality. But then the Air 2S, which is a lot of people's favorite drones, and I understand why. It has a ton of features. It's smaller in size than the Mavic 3 and the Evo 2 Pro. And of course the price is good. Of course, if you already own it, that doesn't make any difference. But a lot of people love that drone because of its feature set, its size. It didn't cost them as much as something like this. So and that was definitely the running. I brought the Air 2 last year because the Air 2S wasn't out until we got back from the meetup. But so that was really in the running. But I thought still, it's still kind of similar to the Mavic 3, where it has the 10-bit color, the D-Log, a lot of bells and whistles, and even though it's smaller than the Mavic 3, it's still kind of, it's still a good enough size that people notice it, and it's not as discreet as the Mini 2. And the Mini 2, the fact that it's kind of toyish or whatever, the propellers, the thickness, the size, it even kind of looks a little bit like a toy drone. That kind of enables you to get it out in situations where you maybe won't want to get a bigger drone out, or a more serious looking drone where people look around and say, oh, that guy filming me, and oh, that's going to be trouble, he's got that drone out. So where you get a little drone like the Mini 2 out, a lot of people just look over at it for a second and say, oh, that's just a little toy drone. That probably doesn't even have a camera, or if it does have a camera, it doesn't work anyways, or it's a terrible camera. So so it's a nice to have a discreet drone along, one that's easy to carry too. Like even though the Mavic 3, of course, is it's not only bigger, but it's heavier. Its case is bigger. Where the Mini, of course, the Mini 2 is the 250 gram sub 250 gram drone. They make the regulations there. So it's very lightweight, fits into a small case. In fact, you don't have to put it, I have a hard case for it, but you don't even need to keep it in a hard case. You can stick it in your camera bag in a slot that's designed for a lens. It's so small. So portability. Portability with this, especially down here. If I'm going to say I'm going to walk someplace, maybe I'm going to walk a couple miles over to the beach, and I want to take a drone with me, but I don't want to take the Mavic 3, and especially the case that Mavic 3 would come in. I just wanted something to carry, something light. This one fits the bill. I mean, the only knock on the Air 2S, it's been kind of windy down here in South Florida this week. It's been better the past day or two, but this, especially at the beach where the winds are really gusty, this can't always handle it. But this guy can pretty much handle most winds or whatever. But still, this is my portable. Put it in my backpack. You just stick it in the camera bag. This guy's the winner here, and so that's why he came over the Air 2S and the Evo 2 Pro, because so I kind of brought one big drone and one small drone. Now, if I was only going to bring one drone along here, like when I went to Spin Up out in Austin, Texas, the great event Kelly Shores hosts, I only took one drone because I flew in Spirit Airlines, and you had to watch your weight and your bags and whatever. So only one drone, the Air 2S went. And the same thing here. If I had flew down here and I didn't have, I could only bring one drone, the Air 2S would have been it. It's kind of like, when I say a good compromise between you two. Actually, the Air 2S is a lot closer to the Mavic 3 than it is to the Mini 2, but it kind of sits in the middle as far as like a size thing or whatever. Again, it still tends to be more size like close to the Mavic 3 than it does the Mini. So anyhow, that's what I brought to the Great Florida Drone Meetup 2022 edition. Did I bring the right drones along? Should I have brought different drones out? And I mean, don't mention drones. I don't know because I couldn't bring ones I didn't own along here. But the drones I own, did I choose the right ones to bring, or should I brought a different combination of two drones? And don't do a Mike Wright and say I should have brought all the drones or whatever. So anyhow, that's about it for this video. I just do want to remember everybody, if you haven't heard about the Florida Drone Meetup, it's April 2nd. It's at Jensen Beach. It's on like a little causeway between the mainland and the Barrier Island, and it's really around the town of Stewart. If you want more information, you go to you get on Facebook and you go over to South Drone Meetup. It's a group created by Captain Ray Kelly. He's got all the information over there about the meetup and kind of where we're staying and where we're going to dinner and all that kind of stuff. So maybe best place to fly into if you're flying. So anyhow, again, I don't want to go on and on in this video. I just wanted to kind of give you my mindset here and why I brought what drone. Again, you let me know in the comments down below what drones you'd have brought and whatever. If you were me, or even if you were you and you're coming, what two drones are you bringing? What one drone? What 3 drones? 4 drones? You tell me what drones you're bringing to the Great Florida Drone Meetup, and we'll discuss it right out there on Jetson Beach on that Saturday morning here. So with no further ado, I will say goodbye, and we will see you on the next one, folks.